Hello. We have made it to episode 2. It's been a long haul getting back here. I'm so excited to be playing with this team and playing some. It's going to be interesting for sure. We got some great characters hooked up here. We already have, and we're kind of just going to be diving into the actual adventure here today. So I'm super excited to get going with that. Quickly do want to do a quick little shout out to Limithron. You can see his logo popping up here in and out. Go check him out on Patreon. He's got some great map assets and that can definitely take your game to the next level. It's definitely a great deal on there. So go check it out, see what you think. I know we are using his stuff on Thursday nights, and it's going to be cool. I'm excited for this new map that he just got done for us. So it's going to be cool. Other than that, we are just going to, I think, down there for sure. That being said, let's go ahead and jump on over to this live scene here. And we have ourselves some players. Why don't we go ahead real quick and run through, everybody go ahead and introduce yourselves and then introduce your character. Just a quick physical description possibly. And then we will go from there. Don't give away too much of that backstory though. Let's save that for in-game. We'll go ahead and start with Dread, Mr. Jellen Boomsparkle. Indeed. I mean, short little gnomes. Isn't that the term? You're probably right about that. Let's see whose craft is indeed the more effective as we progress through these adventures. That is for sure. And I'll be doing dice rolls and stuff for Mr. Mitch tonight. As I said, he is having that, as it were. So we are going to jump right on over to Lanariel Mendolynn. We go along here, don't you worry about that. You guys, anyone that's been watching my episodes from before knows that I like to twist and weave and prod with my players and their backstories. I mean, what GM worth this salt doesn't, you know what I mean? So, let's go ahead and dive right in. Because last week, or a couple of weeks ago, when we were playing, we had kind of congregated in the Stonehill Inn towards the end there, and everybody had started having some meals, having a nice time, having a few drinks and things of that. A little bit, getting to know the people a little bit. Jellen and Kellen obviously by would have given the Gnome Brothers a wave or a little cheer of the cup in recognition during that time. Jellen very, very eagerly taking these little tokens of friendship. Another favorite drink of the Stonehill Inn, Tobias Vane, comes bustling through the door, along with some townsfolk carrying a small form. Clear the deck, you lead-footed bastards. We've got an injured man here. Begin to back off the group. As they begin to back off, the group realizes that this person is a gnome. The Boomsparkle brothers instantly recognize him as the courier from Gnomengard, Garen, who regularly visited the growing new town. You've the look of a healer. Tend to this man. Already halfway out of his chair, Dill growls at the tough old pirate, but says nothing else as he immediately sets to work. After a few moments of cleaning up the massive amount of blood in the small frame, Dill begins to the lot of them. Camped outside Gnomengard, he said, while he still had wind. They ambushed him at the river bridge. Tobias kind of looks over at the two of you, Boomsparkle brothers. But the best ships are friendships, and may they always be. And he pulls the cork with his teeth and spits it to the floor, pours out some of the rum onto the floor before... Go ahead and roll an investigation. You're beyond that. What is it that you brothers need then for the... Yeah, Alabaster, he heads off to his place. Actually, he probably would have been... as the rest of the party kind of goes off, some faster than others in their racing to collect their belongings. That 18, very nice. You can see that he seems to have this air, annoyed at the delay. It's not a place I'd come unless I was bound to by fate and desire. You can see that his two assistants are definitely hard at work, and they seem to be putting away a delivery or something of some kind. You can see that Ender and Thistle are kind of running around in and out of the back door. There's a wagon outside, and they are just kind of transferring goods. As soon as you walk in, you see that Elmar... Of course you were going to ask about that. You've been asking about that for the last 4 years, Jellen Boomsparkle. Yes, I know it's sometimes called smoke powder. Thank you for the 1000th time. Starts rummaging around. He's like, delivery of call bearings. I believe you've ordered the last 3 bundles. Well then, how about I'll take a gold piece for this bag and you'll prepay for the next one as well. Okay. Will that be all, sir? Hey. Can I help you with, sir? Okay. Interesting. He kind of takes your sheet and just kind of lost in, just instantly kind of goes into his store owner, space, and he just kind of thinking, he's got a full inventory in his head of where everything is. And you see him instantly just kind of going down this, yes, of course, yes. Yeah, it'll be right over here. And he just kind of goes off and he starts finding all of these objects for you. And after a few moments, he comes back around and he kind of places all of these items on the table. And says, well, most of this stuff is fairly easy to get, but some of this incense is going to be quite difficult to recover. I might need a little bit extra from you, if you don't mind. Oh, it's not like there's a magic provision shop in town for there to be an alternative, is there? What? Whatever do you mean it's about to start up? You see, he stops for a moment. He kind of does that, internal taking a step back thing. And he looks at the two of you gnomes, and his eyes kind of narrow a little bit. Garen. Oh dear. Not Garen. Oh, that is terrible news. And Garen is definitely, he's been the courier for a couple of years now between Nomengard and the town of Mendolynn. So he's obviously stopped into the store many times to provision himself for the road going back towards Nomengard. Hit him and he says, 10. Indeed. I hope you find out who did this thing. Okay. So as you guys go to get your stuff and eventually kind of meet in the center of town again as well, about that time, Alabaster would be coming downstairs and grabbing the other. And really interesting. Been going on this whole time. Yay! Hmm. I don't know.
Did you mute us, Indigo?
He hates us, it's fine.
I knew this was all secretly just about him.
All right, go ahead and try now. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the hell just happened there, but somehow it was disabled. So, yeah. We just had a nice 40-minute session of them not being able to hear you. Hopefully it was recorded, though, and it'll be able to hear you in the playback, but as it is, they can hear you now, so there's that. So, that being said, let's go ahead and switch on over to the next thing here. So as you guys do make your way out of Fandle and out onto the road.
Right, my brother.
We could have magic and more important machinery everywhere.
We've been in town for 4 years, and we're barely getting traction and getting our store. You really think us going, oh, we might get our store is going to scare him? It's been 4 years. We've been denied for 4 years.
We haven't gotten this started up because we've been focusing on helping Mendolynn. Okay? Now Mendolynn's in a spot where we can actually start building up our own shop.
But he doesn't know that. He does, I mean, I'm damn sure like 80% of this town ignores us. I mean, we just met that half-orc lady and she ignores us.
I think she's new to the town.
Shut up for 5. I mean, like, it's totally fair that he's, like, scared of me, but, like, whatever, it's cool. I don't mind. I take it as a compliment.
Dell pulls his ale skin off of his shoulder. Would you like a drink, lad? Will I bolster your courage a bit?
I'm fine, thank you.
You know, the Elven village I grew up in is a lot more about, like, taking care of each other than this weird way that Mendolynn is, where, like, we don't want competition.
I mean, welcome to humans.
Huh.
Aye. Humans are right little bastards most of the time. You see Alabaster. Alabaster just kind of looks at him out of the corner of his eyes for a second. Alright.
Like, wait, are you human, or like, are you just something that looks close to human, or are you self-aware?
As a mercenary, I've seen all types. Some that are honorable.
A minimum if you can. We're working with a very diverse group here, and we don't want to upset anyone.
It wasn't racist, it's just true.
Yeah,
It was a fact.
That's even worse to say it like that.
I mean, he even backed me up. Okay, look, he backed me up.
Still, we have to be a team, okay? Let's all just get together.
I'm not trying to be against that.
Because yes.
Hey, look, you don't lecture me about being teamwork and stuff, and you can't talk to the one woman in the party.
It's just gonna take a little bit of time, okay? And I'll get there. But right now, just all just be cool.
Right.
You just hear Dell chuckle as he's walking at the end of the party. He just starts chuckling.
All right. So more important matters besides that. What's the plan when we get to this bridge? I mean, we're gonna do bandits. Are we gonna take like a roundabout way, try to sneak up, scout ahead? What's happening? Because that I could.
Not what you would call stealthy.
Yeah. Okay. So if we take a 10-minute break, I get a little minion who can scout for us, and then we know their numbers and stuff, and then we can make a plan based on that instead of just being like raw out of nowhere. I mean, don't get me wrong. I believe there are certain times when running face first into danger might be actually a pretty good tactic, especially for lady with the giant axe. But I just want us all to get out of this alive and don't end up like 4 games.
Aye.
Can't really get justice for a guy if you're dead too.
I plan to just walk up and smash me mace in the face, so. And he
I like his methods.
He kind of taps on his shield as he's walking.
All right, so there's that.
I mean, I feel
That'd be a good idea.
I feel like though that if there are bandits on the road, they're probably gonna find us.
it's like it's just a stupid bird. But in reality, Kellen is watching, planning and stuff.
That's
Can you do
terrifying.
this simultaneously where you survey through your familiar and walk?
And as long as you keep a hand on my shoulder, yes.
I think that might be a good idea. Maybe at first,
Go ahead.
maybe just first send out the scout, just to keep an eye out, just in case, and then we'll hang out in the back and let the muscle of the group, take the charge if anything is seen.
Plus, we don't want you guys to get filled full of arrows when we just mentioned. Because, remember, for Garen, there came with various arrow wounds. Face forward means run straight into arrow fire, pretty much.
Well, I got the answer to arrow for you.
That's what they all say. Then they took an arrow to the knee.
It's a nice thick shield and some healing hands. You know what I mean? They'll keep us safe. On up into the hills, only south into the mountains. This road that goes into Nomengard. And as you're making your way, you do know that this bridge is coming up. And as you kind of come around this bend, you guys find yourselves at...
Just to get there before we go straight to the bridge, as soon as we know that it's coming up, Kellen's going to quickly pull his spellbook from his back and flip through the pages and real quick get mage armor cast. There's bandits and they've talked about ambushes and there's arrows. And casting that immediately as soon as we know we're close.
Okay. As you guys do come around this corner, let me go ahead and jump us on over to this other screen real quick because this is about to get interesting, my friends. So, as you guys do come around the corner, you see this beautiful map.
Dynamic dungeons.
It was actually done through Unity. A gentleman named Tom Swagger, and he does these animated maps. You can find his Discord at Tabletop Things, and you can also find him on Patreon as well. He does some really cool, just awesome tabletop stuff. Animated maps is one of the things that he does, and I was so excited to be able to grab this little doodad and use it for today. So, yay. Yay, new toys! So as you guys do come around the corner, you do see this bridge, and you see this little waterfall in this river, and as you get a little bit closer, you see this bandit kind of standing there, and next to him, you see another one, and you just kind of overhear just a drift of their conversation on the wind. Says, I could have lived. Put a couple of arrows in him. Sure, he was done for. Just a little bit over the sound of the river, you kind of just hear the sound of these voices.
I think that's them.
And as you get a little bit closer, suddenly one of them says, hey, oi! And he taps the other one on the shoulder and he points at you guys. And you see the one in front here immediately turns and he puts a hand on the hilt of his sword. He says, oh, you there!
Hi!
You
We
see,
just need to get across this bridge. That's pretty cool, right?
huh, be really cool after you give us 20 gold pieces.
Okay, but this bridge is probably not even worth like 20 gold. Like, I'm not buying the bridge. I think you misunderstood. Okay, so like, me and my friends, we just want to like...
How about we just take all your gold then?
I feel like we're going in the wrong direction.
Everybody?
Jellen, Kellen, can you guys help here? Because like, I don't think... Am I not speaking the right language?
You are. They're just, money grabbing bastards. They killed Garen.
What was that you said?
Hey, did you shoot a dove that came through here?
I told you we got away. Kill him! Everybody, let's roll some initiatives. Go ahead and get to that second tab. It's the yellow one with the 2 crossed swords. Hit that 20-sided dice right next to your character.
Oh, dang.
And I will go ahead and roll for one, Mr. Alabaster. Wait a minute. Oh, I know why.
Dice on the screen.
It's time to begin combat, my friends. And that means music. All right, let's do this. We are going to start off with Mr. Kellen. Boomsparkle.
The bastards killed Garen. I mean, I kind of didn't know him that well, but he was a good guy. And I'm going to go ahead and once again flip the pages on my spellbook before ripping out a glowing green orb and flinging it at the first guy closest to us.
Okay, what's the range on that?
I believe Acid Splash is 60 feet. Right?
So excited.
Yep. Acid Splash.
Gotta turn up this battle music just a little bit.
Actually, I think
Epic level. Okay, so what is he doing here? Acid Splash. Dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 damage. These guys are within 5 feet of each other. Dexterity saving throw. 14.
he makes it as okay, but how about his buddy?
And that DC is at 13, so let's go ahead and roll one for this gentleman as well. Dexterity save. The way of it, and it just lands squarely on the second guy. And he's like, ah, ah! And as immediately as it splatters across his armor, it starts eating into all of this leather that he's wearing. You see it instantly just starts sizzling. This little smoke kind of starts rising up off of where this acid is eating through his leathers. You see him immediately starts patting at this substance all across his armor.
I fling the acid, not even caring whether it actually hits or not, and then run over here behind this little wall for cover.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go prone, just in case they have arrows.
5, 10, 15, 20, 30 to there. And what's the range on the light crossbow?
80 through 20.
It is. So he is going to, he moves up to there and he kind of looks across this bridge and seeing the red-haired Lanariel, he just immediately kind of pulls up his crossbow and takes a shot. As it kind of sails over your shoulder, you kind of just, instinctively duck to the side a little bit as this bandit takes a shot at you. And it is your turn, Lanariel.
Alright, so she is going to move up here. And then just prep her glaive. And I'm going to hold my action if anything gets within 10 feet of me, or first enemy within 10 feet of me. I'm going to stab him.
Okay.
And then she's just going to look at him and go, well, I was going to ask if you wanted the surf or the turf, but I guess the turf it is.
And that means...
Yes. Foundry's really rad on the player side. Just in case, because I know you guys can't see everything we see, this is cool.
Foundry is super impressive. So as you say that, you suddenly hear this little clatter of rock to the side, and you see this bandit kind of step out from behind the rock, and he also has a crossbow up. And he says, "Looks like we have lively one here." And he takes a shot at you as well.
They're coming out of the rocks!
As another arrow comes out. You guys, these bandits are not messing around with you. Just telling you. You just have amazing HC. As suddenly, actually he should have had advantage on that attack, but it's okay. So this guy is going to get that advantage, but suddenly out of the trees to the south, you hear a click of a crossbow. And this one is going to shoot at the closest target, which would be Jellen. So 14 crossbow. This might be your first combat, Jellen Boomsparkle.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
So this guy is the one that took... It was just 1 point of acid damage, right?
Yeah, 1 point.
Okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20 feet to there. So he's going to move 15.
Sorry, trying to.
No, you're good. We're all learning how to do combat here. I freaking love this program. It's so awesome.
Okay, I'm clicking the dice next to the glaive and it's not rolling.
Just click the attack button in the chat.
Ah, okay, well it could be more obvious than I was hoping.
Oh, look at your pink dye. It's so cute.
It's perfect for Lanariel.
Yay.
A very hot pink kind of person.
18 is going to hit for sure. Glaive at him, it just cuts him right across the chest. He's, ah! And as to swing. $21 to hit.
Yeah, my AC is not that good.
That's going to hit. For 3 points of damage.
Ow.
Ha ha ha! That's right. Time to die today, wench.
Yeah, that's kind of not on my list, but like, I appreciate the offer.
God, there's so many bandits, you guys. Bye. This one, I think, will be at disadvantage. Let's see. Yes, just barely. Okay, as another bolt goes sailing over your head and misses you. Look at Lanariel, just impressive as fuck right now. Okay, who is next? This gentleman in the front is going to definitely... Let's see. This one is going to step here and over to here. And he is going to take a shot at... Pulls up the shield and blocks the arrow away from him. Not today. And as he strides forward, 10, 15, 20, 25. Let's go to here. Actually, let's go right up into here. And Dill is going to... What happened to all of my stuff? My stuff, guys.
We stole it.
Why did you steal my
Actually,
stuff?
probably Jellen. He
Right? It's the whole reason for it. Just a moment. So what do you guys think? What's your favorite thing about the Foundry so far that you've seen? I know it's only been a couple of weeks, but it must be something.
Ease of use.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I used so much Roll20, I expected it to be way more difficult. And it's just very simple.
I like the immersion, like just the amount of interactivity that it allows as a player or as a GM. It's so immersive, it's just really impressive to me.
The mod community seems pretty decent too. How many different little things people have added to it
So
to
many.
make it more accessible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I also like that on the screen right before your turn, it lights up and says next turn.
Next up, I'm looking at that right now.
Yeah, dude, it's so nice. Personal pet peeve for me are players who never know when their turn is. I understand not knowing everything you're going to do on your turn, where you're like, oh, wait, it's my turn.
Indeed, that is one of the mods that I added for sure.
Well, thank you to whoever made that. Like some simple like thing, but it's adorable and I like it because they're just like circular around your character portrait when you're looking at it from the combat screen.
Man, I thought for sure I did this already. This is weird.
I'm sorry, does this mean you're not perfect? Do I get to retract my apology now from Twitter? Just asking. For a friend, totally. I swear he's good to us, stream. He's very good to us. He's a wonderful and generous DM.
I'm not. It's a lie. It's a lie. Well, this is all very interesting, my friends. So, what? For some reason, my character sheet is not updating, and I don't have any weapons. And I'm sure I've already done this. So there's some little bug that is going on here with my character. So that is super awesome.
Can you do some manual rolls?
Yes, I'll have to do that.
Best part about D&D, when everything goes wrong, it all still works.
And I just had to
I
roll
have
the dice.
all of these dice in my little dice tray in front of me. Also, guys, I had a dice tragedy recently.
What happened?
My obsession are gemstone dice, so I have to take care of them really, really well because gemstones are soft and they break really easily. Well, I haven't pulled out my dice since we moved because COVID, and I have a game where we are allowed to roll real dice at home. And I pulled out my D4 and it was cracked.
Oh,
like a
no.
whole piece was broken of my beautiful green fluorite dice.
Ouch.
My condolences.
So if anyone wants to send me new dice on stream, like please do. I will thank you profusely, and that's pretty much all you're gonna get from me because it's really more than anyone else does anyways.
It's fair.
At least it wasn't a spike trap like tracked it. That's what D4s are. They're spike traps.
Yeah, it wasn't my D20, thankfully. But also, since that one broke, it's been rolling really cold. So now I can't even use it. I've gotten like 4 nat 1s with it. Like, it's in dice jail right now.
It's so weird. Because it even has my in there, but I can't click on anything. My dice.
Alright, guys, I just rolled it again just to see if it deserves to be out of dice jail. Nat 1. Still in dice jail.
Back in the pokey with you.
It's doing that to you on purpose.
I think it's mad because it lost its siblings.
This is where I belong. I never want to leave. I'm more used to in here than outside.
Also,
I'm
if
just
anyone
checking,
wants to talk me out of buying $70 amethyst dice sets that I absolutely 100% totally need, feel free.
100% want, 150% need.
Need, obviously, because I realize I don't have amethyst ones. I'm debating between amethyst and opalite right now, and I have one game that even lets me roll real dice.
I mean, if it's gonna make you happy, you should do it.
Is it a limited time thing? Maybe you should hold off on it for a little bit.
She says,
Damn
no.
it, Dread is the voice of reason. That's actually a good point. No, it's not limited time.
There you go. Speaking of time, what is
Speaking
this
of time,
going on the bottom of the screen here?
the as we are attempting to D&D here. This will be the last time I try this, I promise. Let me grab those dice real quick. 1 second.
Well, what absolutely we are not sponsored by and are not endorsed by and do not endorse this show is, have you guys been streaming?
Technical difficulties.
I actually haven't been on Twitch in a week or two.
Oh, I meant like Netflix, but yeah, dude, Twitch too.
So I wonder if it's because...
I'm bad about watching streams live. Like, I'm way better at podcasts.
Yeah, I used to watch lots of Twitch streams live, but lately it's just been either I'm not up for my favorite streamers or I just don't feel like it. I'm like, I'd rather listen to music and play video games.
Alright.
Yeah, I watch things when I eat, and
Same.
more often than not, I'm just playing a video game or I'm listening to a podcast.
I watch when I stitch. So I watch a lot more television than I'm proud of.
Alright, so what is going on here is that Mihr is...
Sorry to interrupt you. I think the Twitch stream screen might be black.
Yes, it is. It is 100% because I am reloading the Foundry at the moment.
Ah.
It should pop up here in just a second. We're just gonna have all the issues tonight, guys. Don't worry about it.
Let's get them out the way.
I mean, we're streaming. That's pretty standard then.
Yay! There we go.
Issues be damned, we're still playing D&D.
We're still playing D&D, and it's Sunday, and I'm stoked, and it's whatever. We might play a little bit longer tonight.
Yeah.
If you guys are alright with that, I'm alright with that. Alright, so we have a dice roller, we have a map window. That's parts fixed, guys. Yay! Mihr, on the other hand, is being a bastard, and it's alright because I expect him to be alright bastard. So, what we are going to do is, as he gets close, he kind of puts a hand when he was in the Stonehill Inn, trying to suddenly feel this presence around you, like this, almost like an aura of like this golden energy. And you can see that this connection seems to almost extend through some sort of, like it almost coalesces down into like this thread of this golden energy that stretches now between you and Mihr. And he hefts up his mace and he says, "Let's bash some faces in on."
See what you can do, Godman.
Okay, and that is going to be Mihr's turn. Yay, we made it through Mihr's turn. So we are on this bandit. We'll skip that bandit. Jellen, it is your turn. What are you going to do, sir? I would say for you.
Then that's what I'm going to do.
Half cover, I suppose.
Jellen the gnome is going to... Well, first thing, he sees this guy shoot in the trees, shoot a crossbow bolt at him. He instinctively, like, crouches down, sees this guy, and I didn't go into detail earlier, but he doesn't wear traditional scale armor. He wears a duster that looks a little too big for him, and the inside of it is lined with scale armor lining. That's his interpretation of scale armor.
Okay.
And he basically just opens up the coat, and he takes a just before he moves.
Okay. Go ahead and take that shot, sir.
Crit.
Is that a crit, or
Nat freaking 20.
that looks like a nat 20 to me?
It does. Put it in my cool shit.
For a total of 17.
Okay, like, I feel bad for ever criticizing this little dude. He's kind of a monster. Like, I'm into it.
Why didn't my thing trigger? Oh my gosh, that's so annoying. Why are things failing me tonight? Because you know what was supposed to happen right then? When you
What's that?
rolled...
Pushing monkeys?
When you rolled...
It's back and I'm happy.
Oh yeah, you guys can expect that.
Good times are back.
Okay,
and
so
happy.
that's 17 damage to homeboy in the tree.
Did this guy right over here? All right.
Yeah, the guy in the tree who shot at Jellen.
As you pull out your crossbow, you kind of flip your coat open and you pull out the crossbow and you shoot it over at him. You see it just hits him right in the chest, and he just instantly just flips out of the tree off of this branch with a loud thud on the ground below.
Ha!
And then Jellen...
Well shot, lad.
Hey, how do I do the measurement for distance?
It's the ruler. Three ones down on the road. There we go.
Jellen runs into the bush.
Okay. This guy. Yeah. And we are going to.
Okay, I feel like that noise was like the most intimidating thing about these bandits, and it wasn't even done by the bandits.
Okay. Ooh, Alabaster. And he's going to kind of take a position. What does Alabaster have to attack a guy with? Let's go with that hand crossbow, huh?
He's just within range, too.
Critical hit.
There you go.
Baby, that's what you want. The critical hit.
I wonder if Jellen's didn't trigger because it rolled the crit and the damage all at once rather than rolling the crit and then clicking for damage.
I also used Beyond 20.
Oh yeah, you gotta roll it in game.
That's probably what it is. If you
That's
don't
probably
Gotta roll it in game if you
you
want the song, my man.
freaking 2 crits in a row. Good lord. So wait, are we
Okay, you
telling
bandit.
that Mitch is the best when he's not here?
Yes.
Ouch.
We love you, sorry?
Love you, sorry?
Burn.
So as he takes this kind of a stance above Kellen, you see him kind of whip this hand crossbow off of his belt, and he just kind of aims for a second. Dead man. Takes a shot, and you see it just kind of hits him right in the throat. You see him just fall back against the cliff and just kind of like drape himself down as he slowly dies. Man, you guys are just taking out bandits.
Well, maybe they shouldn't have tried to extort us.
I mean, Okay. All right, and that is going to be the end of.
Pop up from being prone. Give the mouth. I'm on the wrong thing. Okay, there we go. Let's see. You're not want to be on those. 30 feet. 30. Okay, there we go. Damn it. 5. 15. I'm gonna go right there. And then I'm gonna, once again, flipping my foot back to near the front of it. And sort of purplish, ethereal energy will gather, and I'm gonna hold it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hold my action to cast minor illusion around the head of the next person who will be attacked by one of my.
Okay.
Because it does say I can put it anywhere within a 5-foot cube. So if they lose sight and our glorious glaive lady swings in and they can't see it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we will play that out as it happens. So you're gonna hold your action until then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and hit that next button, and that is going to take us to this bandit over here. And seeing a couple of his mates getting taken out so quickly in quick succession there, he says, Elthander ain't gonna like this. Take him out quick! 5, 10, 15, 20. 32 there, and he is also gonna take a shot at Dell with this light crossbow.
What was the name you said?
There was just one jump to
Oh! That's right. Job to do, and it all came down to you, and you screwed the pooch. That's what they just say at me. So sadly, he missed. As he pulls up the crossbow, this light crossbow here, as he lets go with the trigger, the string on it actually snaps. You just hear this loud spraying, and the crossbow bolt just kind of goes flopping off in a random direction, and he just kind of like, oh, bloody hell! He just kind of throws it to the ground and pulls out his sword. And that is going to be the end of his turn. You just hear this one kind of chuckle at his mate. Damn blooming idiots. 5, 10, 15, 20. This time without that disadvantage. Which takes us right to Miss Lanariel.
Question. If I swap from my glaive to a great axe, can I do that in one turn and still attack, or is that considered 2 item interactions?
Dropping the weapon, I believe, is a free action, right?
Okay, cool. Well, and she's going to drop her glaive and pull out her great axe and swing at the guy right in front of her, which I think is the trigger for that minor illusion. So I'm going to let that minor illusion happen.
Okay. So as you drop the, what is that, a pike? Great axe?
Glaive.
A glaive. You drop the glaive and you're going to pull out the axe?
Yep.
Okay. As you pull it out, you suddenly see this smoke just kind of start billowing out of this guy.
Like, because we like wizards who can rhyme, it's
That's fight with advantage.
Jellen.
Okay, 21 is definitely going to hit. Go ahead and roll that damage.
Ooh, yes, 15, baby.
And as you just kind of swing down with the axe, it just buries right into his collarbone, and you just and he just kind of falls backward as the two upper parts of his body just kind of fall apart from each other.
I mean, I told you there were better ways to flirt with a woman than this. I didn't have to kill you. And then she is going to move over here. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, so
So,
It's cute.
like that's where his head used to be. Right there.
Alright, let's take another shot at old Dill here.
Critical hit. How you like that shit? Baby, that's what you get. Another critical hit.
this is like the crit session.
That's right. It happens against you guys too sometimes.
Real quick before we go with the whole trying to smite Dell and everything. Since my illusion does their 5 foot together, it comes in handy probably.
Actually, I thought it was, but it's something else. But I'm going to put this in chat so you can know what it is that you get from this. Oh, that bandit didn't say that. So, once per turn, on each of your turns, you can roll a d4 and add the number roll to an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw while you have this aura around you. Which sadly is not going to help you in this particular moment, so you will take that 5 points of damage. And Del kind of 14. What does he get to hit though?
What was the source of the emboldening bond?
Dell.
Del, that was his Del's first turn.
Yes, he is a certain kind of cleric that maybe you guys don't know too much about. So,
Jellen doesn't know, but Dredd knows.
dun, dun, dun.
Quick.
Like he's a fancy kind of cleric.
Sounds like a UA cleric.
He is a
Yeah, it does.
He is a living martyr. So, he is going to take a swing at this bandit with his mace. 14 should hit. I have a +3 to hit with strength, so I'm fairly certain that's going to hit their AC. Mace damage is 1d6, is that right?
Yep. 26 plus strength for mace.
I will see. I'll try and track down. I don't know if it's because it's a UA subclass that I'm having the issue, but I'll try and figure that out this week. It was 4 points of damage plus strength is going to give him that his shoulder just kind of seems to be -7. That didn't do what I wanted it to. Okay, that is going to be the end of Dell's turn.
The guy on the bridge, or is that just a
2 or 3 feet high. Height about his lower half from your angle. What would you like to do?
Shot, Jellen.
This guy over here is not dead, but I can't change his status. It's so weird that I can't change his hit points.
does a 12 hit?
There, thank you. A 12 is exactly what you need to hit, sir.
Aha!
Let's go ahead and roll that damage.
I mean,
Hey!
He just happens to look right at you in these bushes and makes eye contact with you as you let go of this shot, and it just kind of hits him right in the chest, and he just kind of falls over to the ground looking in your general direction with like this look of shock and amazement that he's been killed by this tiny little gnome.
Success!
And then Jellen drops down prone to get full cover, to get the most cover he can out of the bush.
Okay. All right. So that is going 30. Like calmly, like striding forward towards this bandit, and he just raises his crossbow. Yeah. And you see him starting to move like he wants to run away from you guys. And that is
We get over here next to Dell. And, yeah. Wait, why did I do that? I'm very confused.
Yeah, I don't think you have to make the saving throw for your own spell.
Yeah, nope, I don't. I'm confused.
Nope.
Oh no.
We give him that. And then we're gonna minus another this band-aid here. Okay. Hearing the words of this bandit on the bridge and then seeing him as he's trying to turn and run, taking this ball of ash. He's like, I'm going to get the boss. I'll find the boss. Hold him off. And he just runs, turns and runs in the other direction. Right here.
Yep, and she's just right up in his business, axe out, looking menacing.
Okay. As you come rushing up, he's just kind of holding on to his scimitar.
And action surge.
Soon. Okay, is that the end of your turn?
It is.
Okay, let's roll an intelligence check. He's not smart. And he takes a swing at you with his scimitar. $15 is not gonna hit, however. And as you just kind of slap. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. To here. And if only I knew what my spells up to here, menacingly in the bandit's general direction. Which will bring us to Jellen, who is hiding in the bushes over here, being a little gnomish badass.
Jellen, he moves 10 feet, and he takes our dealing with.
Okay. Go ahead and make that shot, sir. This beautiful lady's general direction, it kind of throws off your aim just a little bit. You're like, I don't want to hit her! And as you just kind of aim off just a little bit,
And that's
not close enough. That light crossbow. And he is going to get a normal attack. Oh, really? Come on, Mitch, why are you messing up? And that is going to take us to the top of the order and Mr. Kellen.
Alright, let's get them moving.
Okay, yeah, these guys are trying to run away from you.
Alright, move 25 feet there. Alright, then I'll, my spellbook will drop to the ground, fully open, and I'll pull out at the guy who's furthest away, and one bolt of force since they're all within range. So, for the guy who's hurt and bleeding, I'll do him first. An 18.
Running away, you see it just right in the back of his head, and you see him just kind of tumble to the ground from the force of his magic dart.
Then 2 more bolts for the guy who is furthest away.
Okay.
Uh, 25 is a crit. I think. Yep.
You rolled a 6 and a 15? Oh, you had 2 there.
Yeah, for the first one, which is the first part, is a critical strike.
Yeah. How are you rolling that?
It's a macro I made.
Yeah.
Because if I click the spell on my sheet, it only does 1 dart, and it'll then put the entire text again. So.
Is it up in the ability bar?
The entire spell description, instead of being able, and not even rolling the damage. So I just made the macro to make it easy.
Okay. I don't think magic missile. You have to roll.
No,
This
it's
is
Jim's
magic.
magic
Jim's you do?
missile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jim's magic missile.
It's a little bit
Gotcha.
different than the standard one, for sure.
Yeah.
But you're not going to hear the awesome critical hit, so
Yeah, that's that.
that's why I was pulling
But
it
he.
So
he
9
takes,
points on the first one. The second one is going to be a 6 to hit. Is that correct?
Yes, so 6 to hit.
So that'll miss. But that first one definitely does do that big 9 points of damage. And you see it kind of hits him in the back, and he kind of stumbles, but he just kind of like pushes himself to his feet and kind of regains his feet, just keeps trying to run off.
That first one does 15 damage, doesn't it? It does the 6 and then the extra 9 for the crit, because it's 5d4 on a crit. Extra on top of that, so it ends up.
It is on a critical hit. The target of the missile takes 5d4 force damage instead of rolling twice for critical hit.
Yeah, which is what it rolled on the screen. So it's
Right?
because if you look at if you actually mouse over the numbers,
The first one is 2d4.
and the other one is 3d4.
Ah, okay, you're right.
So it's actually
Yeah.
the full 15.
Right,
What?
yeah, you're right.
I thought it was instead. You're
Okay.
right.
Yeah, no, good call, Gigi. As it is,
I'm not about to hurt
as this
our
guy is
lovely wizard's damage.
as this guy is running away, you just kind of do you say anything as you cast this spell?
Oh, right. I didn't expect him to hit. This is the first time he's used it, so it's more just like it worked.
Okay, so as you
it's variation on the normal magic missile, so it's like it worked.
so you just start throwing out this magic as you're just throwing it. You're just like. Ah! You have this spurt of blood just come out of his chest as his whole upper body cavity just explodes out of the front of him, and you see him just topple to the ground dead instantly.
Turn to Jellen. See, I can snipe too, and I got 3 bullets.
Good job!
Although there was a lot more blood than I thought it would be. 1 second.
On point. Okay, and that is the end of your turn, sir?
Yeah, that is the next.
Why did it skip Lanariel?
I think it's because I hit in and you probably hit in.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, Lanariel. Your little gnome friends are
Obviously,
pretty...
we're just gonna take a nice big ol' swing at this guy.
Okay, he is the last one. That 22 is gonna hit. For 6 points.
Be dead.
Why not? Because it sounds like his friends are just bringing your boss. Like, I'm gonna need like a really good reason that we should let you live.
He just kind of drops down to his knees. He's still got the scimitar in his hands. And he kind of just looks up at you, like with this look of disgust and anger. He says, "Fucking die, you half-breed!" And he takes a swing at you. Oops. No. The first time you've been so disrespected. And as he hits you for 4 points of damage. Why did I roll
Lanariel is
critical?
gonna turn around and look back to everybody. Kill him. Kill him.
That's 4. As he pulls his sword back, he just kind of like just drops it to the ground at this point. He looks up at you, just and he just spits at you, just like full of blood.
Ew. You better have enough gold on you to pay for the cleaning.
Down here, just kind of looks from you back to this guy, and he says, "You know, I was gonna ask for a prisoner." And he just raises his mace and just swings it down in his face. And that is going to hit for sure for 6 points of damage. And you see that this bandit's face just get crushed in as his skull just implodes. And Del just kind of pulls his mace back out of this crushed skull with kind of a splorch sound as the body crumples over to the ground. That's what disrespect of your friends, mate. And he just kind of shakes off the head of his mace.
Which we all did awesome, by the way.
Which we all did
Yeah.
awesome. Except for Mitch, she sucked.
Yeah, but Mitch got the first, got an at 20.
You got an at 20, I'm just kidding, buddy.
I
No,
have
no,
amazing returns.
You know, like, I'm just giving you shit. Alright, it's not your fault that California is an asshole. I'm sorry. Alright, so that I think is going to be a great time to go ahead and take that 8 o'clock break. We are just past that 8 o'clock mark, so we're going to take a quick little break here. Go ahead and stay with us. One viewer that we got out there, we love you for hanging out with us. Thank you so much. And please hold on. We'll be right back, and we will have some more fun shenanigans here. All right. We are back. Thank you so much for your patience on that. Just had another one of those little hiccups with the good old technology. Sometimes it's smarter than I am, probably most of the time, and that's okay. Thanks for liking the stream. I appreciate that. You're probably watching me over there on Facebook, aren't you? Appreciate you doing that. Whether you're watching on Twitch or Facebook or what else is out there. All the things that we broadcast on YouTube. It's on YouTube as well. Wherever you're watching us, we appreciate you doing that. What's up, sir? I am. Yes. Yes, we're trying to get that reach out there. So, you guys just had this amazing battle with some bandits, and you are standing on this bridge in the aftermath of this. What would you like to do? Okay. All right. Go ahead. Anyone that would like to search any of these bandits, you do notice that over here, there does seem to be some sort of a campsite. And you do notice a couple of tents. If you guys want to do any searching around, please feel free to do so. Okay. Go ahead and make some investigation rolls. Jellen, go ahead and roll 2 of those. Lanariel, what did you get? Okay. This gnome has a wonderful imagination. Okay. Okay. And did Lanariel roll? Yeah, I got that 18. Perfect. $13 on the second. Okay. So you guys are able to find some gold. You find on each one of these guys, obviously, you find a scimitar, you find the small crossbow, some bolts. If anyone has crossbows, you can definitely recover some bolts as well. And then each of them does seem to be carrying a coin pouch. And between the lot of these guys, you find a total of 18 gold pieces and 13 silver. And as you go to explore over in this campsite area, Kellen, you do see that there seems to be a couple of tents that have been built down here in the lower area. And up above, it seems to be more of the cooking area. You can see that there's obviously, campfire and things of that nature up there. As you search around down here, you find a little, some more gold and silver that kind of contributes to the total amount that I just gave you guys. And then you find some other sundry items, basic provisions and things of that nature. But nothing else really out of the ordinary. You do find a bow, some arrows. If you need to restock any sort of arrows, you can do that as well. Is there what now? You don't. You don't see any kind of documents, any kind of instructions or anything like that. And you do see Dell kind of looking around this campsite as well while you're over here. Seem to be just your average bandits, I guess, The hell they doing out here? How close are we to Gnome and God? And you know that you're not that far away from Gnomengarde itself. Another half an hour travel at most. Seems odd indeed, right? Is there something perhaps they maybe have heard about Gnomengarde? Trying to shake people down on the way in and out? Or me. me specifically. Aye. Seems that way as well. Perhaps your folk got some stuff that might help us after all, eh? Against the dragon? Aye, little one, it is quite beautiful, aye. For those of you that are curious at home, look at this beautiful waterfall. Tom, you do amazing work. You're probably not watching, but you rock. I was so excited to find this map and find out that I could just use it and just say how awesome Tom is in the meantime. And he lets us do cool stuff with his stuff, and it's cool. All right, so definitely Dell seems to be kind of in agreement. Alabaster hanging out in the area, kind of finishes searching the last bodies. So I don't see any sign of any kind of notes or anything. I gotta work on my southern accent. Okay. Well, you're gonna cuddle up in one of these blankets here then? As you're saying this last bit, you kind of look over your shoulder and you see that Dell had been kind of like reaching out in your general direction. And as you were saying, why you got to make it weird? You see him kind of like pull his hand back and he's like, well, I was just going to heal you, love. Is that okay? Oh. All right. Fair enough then. So he kind of walks back over towards here. You see him just kind of post up against this pillar here, sets his shield to the side, and leans up against the pillar, and you see him instantly fall asleep. You see Alabaster also just kind of walks over. He kind of starts poking around these tents and everything, just kind of giving it an extra little look over. What are the rest of you guys going to do? All right. Did you have anything in mind? Or are you leaving this up to me? Okay. Let's see. What's your alignment, sir? Okay. Interesting. So you see Kellen as he's hanging out in this circle, kind of finds a spot, and he pulls out this brazier, and he kind of sets out all of these magical ingredients around him. What are the rest of you guys going to be doing during this time? Are you taking rest as well, I assume? I know Lanariel is. Just licking wounds. Okay. As you're kind of standing there, muttering to yourself about the woman in the party, you finally eventually feel this this hand on your shoulder, and you kind of look up and you see Alabaster just kind of patting you on the shoulder. Oh. Didn't mean to startle you. You'll get used to it, man. Well, y'all just take it chill. You take it real smooth like, yeah? You'll be alright. Just keep it chill, my man. You'll be alright. Alright. I'm gonna go take a little rest over here. You see him kind of saunters over. You know. Gotta give him a little bit of love after I gave him so much shit. All right, so you are over here, and as you are going through the ritual of this, kind of flipping through the pages and tossing in ingredients into this brazier as you're going through the ritual of the spell. And as you kind of toss in this last little piece of incense, and it kind of explodes into this smoke, and as you say the last incantation, the words of magic, you suddenly see this kind of a shift in the coals. And then you see another little shift, and you see another little movement, and all of a sudden you see it just kind of like, almost as if something is inside the depths of this brazier, and it is growing. And as it is growing, these coals seem to be kind of shifting to the side and falling away. And you see this thing in the center start forming into almost like a rock-like or ember-like crystal that seems to be growing in the middle of this thing, and finally it cracks down one side, and it cracks down another side, and it just kind of opens up with this whiff of steam and this loud noise. And as it does so, you hear this what the fuck is this? And you look over and you see this little creature sitting in the middle of this brazier. And suddenly you see this wing flop out. And then this other wing flops out, and then they just kind of shake themselves a little bit. And then suddenly rising up out of this brazier, you see this small little green form. It looks like it has almost scaly sort of skin, and you see this tail coming off of the back of this creature that ends in this wicked looking, almost scorpion-like barb. And you see this row of teeth, needle-like teeth in this mouth. I suppose you're my new boss over here. Yeah, you know, you cast the magic words, you say all the things, the flim-flams and the badoozles, and all of a sudden, yeah, you got yourself a little familiars over here. Yeah, I get to serve you for the next 100 years until you croaks and I can go off and do my things again. Okay. Yeah, I know the deals. You're not my first masters over here, okay? I'm a closet. I'm clearly a closet over here. Yeah, I mean, if you want to release me so I can go home and stuff, you know, that'd just be fine by me. Go ahead and say them magic words, you know, release me from this bondage and stuff, and, you know, I'm out of here. I mean, I was kind of hoping you'd take the option, Des. You know, if you want a little critters, you know, we'll get you a little buddy rabbits or something, and you'd just be all happy there, right? Is that a command, boss? And he snaps his finger, and all of a sudden you see him, the shape of this little bat, flapping his wings. And then all of a sudden, you see this puff of smoke as it turns back into this little demonic form. You know, I mean, I've had a lot of names over the years, you know, I mean, you could just kind of call me whatever you want, you know, like, I guess Jot, you know, that'll works, you know what I mean? Short and sweet and simple, just like you did, boss, you know what I mean? We all happy here. Yeah, whatever you say there, boss. So, what? Oh, one of them clerics. Yeah, clerics always got to be all high and mighties and holier than thous and stuff. Yeah, do you want me to just stick him right now while he's sleeping over here, boss? I just take him out just like right now. You know, I just give him the little wackadoo and just be done with his ass. You know what I mean, boss? Like, can we just do that? Alright, boss, you know, how about this then? And he snaps his fingers, and all of a sudden you see this gigantic centipede in his place, and he kind of rears up, and you see all of these legs kind of like menacingly kind of waving in the air, and you see these huge mandibles on his face. And this giant centipede just kind of tilts its head in your direction. Yusa kind of looks at you for a second, and then all of a sudden there's a puff of smoke, and you see a large toad sitting in the centipede's place. Not quite that large. Definitely much larger than any toad that you've ever seen before. He'd be small size. Okay. You see this puff of smoke as he turns back into the little demonic form. And he says, "Oh, yeah, you want to give me them golds, boss? Yeah, hand that over. I'll take 10% of your cuts every time." I mean, I guess a gold piece is a good start and stuff. And he, like, grabs it, and you see him, he just kind of, like, sticks it up into his armpit, and he pulls his hand away, and the gold piece is just gone. And he kind of looks around and says, "I mean, whatever. We'll figure out, nice little fair deals there, and I keep whatever's I find, and, everybody will be happy." What do you mean, boss? Sometimes things just kind of falls into the pockets, you know what I mean? I mean, you're right about that, boss. I mean, it's not like every wizard's just gonna, like, even offer me the deals for servitudes and stuff. So, most of them are all like, "Oh, do this or I'll consume your soul," kind of stuff, like necromancers, Yeah, like I said, you ain't my first boss. But you seem to be pretty all right there. What's your name, dear boss? Boomsparkle. Kind of. Okay. I'm not even gonna ask. I'm just not even gonna ask about that, dear boss. So there's one other thing I suppose you should kind of knows about me, just because you're the boss, and you see him just kind of bloop, and all of a sudden he just disappears, and you cannot see him at all. But in your mind, you just kind of hear this. Yeah, I'm like still here and stuff, boss. Just so you know. Yeah, there's like this thing that I can do. What? What kind of ludicrous notion is that? How they gonna think some kind of flim-flam machine is gonna be better than the magic that comes from that's like the wellspring of the universe itself and stuff. Oh man, do you want me to go? Should I cut him? Should I just give him the little stabby stab? Just. I mean. Oh yeah, boss. Oh yeah, if that's an order, I'll take that all day. Kind of looks over. Well, I guess you can't see him right now, but he looks over in Jellen's general direction, plotting the shenanigans to come. Did Jellen notice any of this going on? Busily. Boomsparkle. All right, so you see him turn into his bat form, and he does take off, and he just kind of flops off into the trees and does some reconnoitering for you. Little recon action. So was there anything else you guys wanted to do here before you set off? Casting this spell, I feel like that would be, you know, enough. Like it was taking your concentration, and it was taking your focus enough that it wouldn't have counted as a short rest. That is entirely up to you guys. There is a party loot tab if you guys want to divvy that up, or you can just put it in the party loot tab for later to divvy up later. All right. So that being said, you guys do finish up your rest here. You kind of finish up everything that you need to do there. And that is going to take us to our next little spot here. Dun, 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 dun. Boom. And boom. So, we made it, guys. We have made it to Nomengard. And go ahead and grab your token real quick. Because Foundry's awesome. That's all you gotta do to hear the rushing water of the river next to you. So you guys do find yourselves, after traveling past the bridge and down the river's edge, you guys find yourselves in the city of Nomengard. Obviously for the Boomsparkle brothers, this is a homecoming. And you would know pretty much the layout of this place. So as we go through it, I'll definitely be able to kind of give you ideas on what is where as far as direction, things of that nature. So you would know that there is a ramp, an entryway just to the south of you guys from where you are now. How are you guys looking on time? Going for a little bit. So as you guys, if you guys want, you can start traveling to the south. Dell's going to start heading off in that direction. Both of these guys at the same time. So those of you that have, I guess all you guys have dark vision, don't you? The two humans are the only one that can't see. Yeah. Indeed. So they do have a couple of torches. It is going on nighttime now. It took a long time to kind of travel to the river bridge, having the combat and then the break afterwards. It's getting on towards nighttime as you get to Nomengard here. You do know that there is a ramp here as you guys get further down. That way you can see that there does seem to be a cliff edge here. And then obviously the source of the river with the waterfall as well. Is Kellen joining us? Sorry. Man. Still getting some drop frames. I don't know how it looks on the stream. Got some stuff to figure out there. Where did Kellen go? All right, Jellen. It's true. So, Jellen, as you step into that space there, so can I have you stop there? You would know that going down this passageway here to the left leads to kind of the dining area, and then by extension the kitchen beyond where you are, Jellen. To the left would lead back to some storage areas and also to the kitchen. To the right of where you are leads down towards some more storage rooms, and also leads to the storage chamber. As you were coming in over here, you saw these little islands. You guys would know that these islands are used for growing mushrooms. There's different varieties that grow there that are used for food. There's some that are used for wine. There's some that are used for fuel. You would know that part of this whole complex is just for storing of barrels to age this gnomish wine that is made out of these mushrooms. Very popular, and it is one of the biggest sellers from this gnomish community, in fact. As you get to this corner, you suddenly hear this, and you hear a and you hear this wild machinery noise, and you look over and you see this giant machine that looks like 4 mega-sized crossbows that are all mounted on a central fulcrum. And they seem to be spinning around the central fulcrum in this wild, haphazard manner. And you see this gnome that is sitting on top of this contraption, and he's kind of spinning around in his seat with this thing as it spins around. And every once in a while, you see it draw back and automatically loads a giant crossbow bolt into this machine, and it fires it off, and it slams into the wall. And Jellen, as you come around this corner, this thing takes aim at you and fires. That's not good. So that is going to be a 1d20 plus 5 to hit. Hold on, I haven't rolled it yet. 15? 15 to hit, sir. That is not going to hit. So as you come around this corner, this giant crossbow bolt just sails past your head, and it just goes all the way to the end of the corner and slams into the very far wall. Even the rock itself just kind of chunks into it. And you turn back and you see this wild machine, and you see this gnome sitting on top of it. He's like, help me! Help me! As he's wildly shooting arrows in every direction. You don't. This does seem to be a newer machine, and you can tell just by the way that it's acting, it definitely hasn't been quite finished yet properly. Okay, so go ahead. Let's go ahead and do this. Go ahead and roll initiative. Somebody got a 20. Anyone that would like to join in this is allowed to, Kellen or Lanariel. Okay. Okay, so you see that the seat that's mounted on top of this thing is at about a 6-foot height. And you can see that there's a lot of levers and gears. He's got a couple at his feet, and he's got a couple that are, on poles that are at his hand level. And he is kind of maniacally trying to push these levers and gears and trying to get this thing to stop doing what it is doing at the moment. Go ahead and roll. Let's see, what would we do for like a tinkering check? Let's just do an investigation to start with. Let's wait till we get to your turn. Alabaster is going to move in and just duck, just kind of sidles right past you and takes up position behind you. Just pulls out his crossbow and he says, "Oh, let me know if I need to shoot him." Okay. That is going to take us to Dell. Dell is going to 5, 10, 15, 20. He won't be able to move past that. He kind of comes up behind Lanariel and says, "Oh, seems to be the problem here, aye." "Oh, what's happening in there?" Okay. Let's get Dell back up to full health. All right, that is going to be the end of his turn, and that means it is Jellen's turn. Okay. They're actually a little bit lower. Those are going to be more about 4 foot height, and then the seat itself is at about 6 foot, where he is up on top of this contraption. Yeah, it'd be a shared space. You could probably climb up on this thing with him. Still a little athletics check. What's your favorite stat to roll? Okay. So as you're kind of getting your hands on this machine and you're trying to get up on it, it suddenly, as it's kind of like jerking, it's doing this kind of random rotation thing. It just kind of pulls away from you, and you just kind of fall backwards and away from this thing again. That would have been part of your movement. Roll. What does your tinkering go off of? Okay, go ahead and roll that. Okay. Yeah, you definitely see a couple of spots where you feel like if you could, do enough damage to it, you might be able to take out some of the gears. You do see, yeah, it seems to be something where you don't see like an off switch. It would have to be something where you do enough damage to it to disable it without completely destroying. Oh. Well, that should be easy. Okay. So he is going to take a shot at this thing. Damage it, but don't blow it up, he says. Okay. That's a well-placed shot from Mr. Alabaster. For 5 points of damage, you see the bolt kind of digs into the machine, and you see it kind of gets into a couple of gears. You see it kind of, digs into some of the wood and stuff. You see the gears kind of grab it and just shred it as it's kind of going through, but you see it kind of like it's kind of knocked one of the gears off a little bit. Like it's still turning, but it's not quite as synced as it was. So that is... Did you want to do anything else beyond that? Did you want to try and hit it yourself? I would say that's more like a bonus action. Okay. Go ahead and make another roll. That's not good enough, sir. Again, it throws you as you're trying to, you almost get up on it and it throws you off at the last moment. And that is going to be this big machine's turn. It is going to do the same roll I had before. So this one is going to be, I'll just do a 50-50. So below 50, it's going to be a Jellen. Above 50, it'll be at Alabaster. At Alabaster it is. 21 is going to hit for that 1d10 damage. It's a machine. It just goes off randomly. You did. It was a good try. And this bolt catches Alabaster right in the gut, and you see it just kind of shoves him backwards, and it kind of slams him up against the wall behind him, and it's just kind of protruding out of his gut. He's just like, oh, as he's pinned up against this wall, taking 8 big points of damage. That hurt. That hurt quite a lot. It's going to take us to Kellen. And you see Alabaster one moment. He's standing in this hallway about, 25 feet ahead of you. And he's standing there. You see him take a shot at something. And all of a sudden you see him just disappear out of the doorway as this huge blur kind of goes flying past. Yeah, boss, what's going down this? Okay. You see him turn invisible, and he is going to head in here. But he is not going to be able to do anything yet. Okay. Lanariel. He's the one making short comments. You can't run through somebody's legs and then get mad about him making short comments. That's true. That's fair. Hmm. Yeah. It's true. He runs through your legs. We could do that with a bonus action. With advantage. You're much larger than he is. That'll do it. You feel this big hand on your shoulder. Suddenly look up and see Lanariel shoving you to the side. In real life. Real life scared right now. Okay. You kind of point out where to aim, Jellen. That's a hit. For 6 points. Okay. You see another, as you take a swing at this thing with that great axe, definitely taking a big chunk out of the wood of this thing. It kind of breaks off one of the arms of one of the crossbows. Does seem to still be kind of engaged in this wild movement. Okay. Go ahead and click end turn. And that take us to the top of the order, and Mr. Alabaster. Well, he is gonna pull this giant freaking bolt out of his stomach, and you see him just kind of duck to the side over here, out of range from this thing, taking cover. And as he just kind of lets it clatter to the ground, he says, "Oh, that hurts so bad." And that is going to be the end of his turn. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to there. Dell immediately kind of charges forward as he kind of slams up against the wall. He kind of kneels down to the ground. You see him immediately kind of put his hand on Alabaster's shoulder and start chanting. Kellen, go ahead and roll perception.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them, guys, and they play randomly, and I'm so excited as we go through them. So, you definitely kind of hear this out of the corner of your ear as you are focused on what's going on in this room with your brother. But out of the corner of the ear, you just kind of hear this chanting, this monastic kind of chanting that Del is doing. But suddenly you hear enough of it, and just for some reason in the midst of this combat just kind of strikes your ear clear enough that you can tell it doesn't seem to be any kind of a human language that you've heard before. And as he kind of finishes up his spell, is it 1d8 or 1d6 plus something for cure wounds? Yeah. Okay. So Alabaster is going to get a little bit of health back. And he just kind of nods. He says, oh, my thanks. As Del stands up and turns to face this thing. I'm just going to take us back to Jellen. As you are kind of looking at this thing, you get kind of shoved to the side, and you look back over and you see this gnome at the top, and you know him as he's a guard in the gnomish community, in Gnomic Guard here. And his name is Factori, and you see him up here, and he's one of the leaders of the guard corps that is here. The corps being a total of about 5 gnomes. So he is the leader of said corps, and he's like, there's a lever down below. Just down below, underneath the bottom of the crossbows there. No, it's as you kind of look again, you see it's kind of down below, underneath where these crossbows are mounted, and you see it seems to be some sort of like a switch, but the way that these crossbows are kind of maneuvering back and forth, it just made it difficult to see, and it's also going to make it kind of difficult to try to get to. But you could try and trigger this thing if you would like to. Okay, roll an acrobatics check. As you go reaching in for this thing, the crossbow just kind of swings back unexpectedly, kind of hits you right in the head as you're going in for it, and knocks you back again out of the way. It's just there. It's just down below. Yeah. Okay. So this thing is going to take another random shot. We have 3 people in the line of fire, so let's do a D12. Let's say 1 to 4 is going to be Jellen. 5 to 8 will be Lanariel, and then Del after that. Jellen. As you get slammed back towards the wall there, you see the one that hit you kind of like slammed you against you, and then it kind of ratchets back, and then all of a sudden it just ratchets, so it's pointing right at you. And it takes a shot. It's a 19 hit. I'm guessing a 19 is going to hit. All right, sir, that is going to do 4 points of damage. As it kind of hits you in the side a little bit, but it mostly sticks into the wall, but just enough to kind of graze you and cuts a nice little chunk out of the side of you. is going to take us to Kellen. You hear this little voice. You hear this little voice in your ear. Yeah, boss, I'm like right here on your shoulders and stuff. What do you want me to do here? I would say not that you can see from there. Okay. All right. So you hear this of wings as you assume he goes flying off. After a few moments, you just hear this little voice in your head say, I don't see anything that looks like a power source or something, but it looks like there's some kind of like a little levers or something down here. You want me to get the levers, boss? Yeah, always gotta send me in to do this dirty works. All right, and then suddenly, Jellen and Lanariel, you see this little bloop as this little demonic form just appears, and this is the first time you've really noticed him, Jellen. And he appears on the other side of this machine, and you see him kind of duck in underneath these crossbows, and he reaches in and he tries to grab this little handle. But sadly, as he's kind of rushing into this thing, as you kind of call out in surprise, your exclamation kind of throws him off. He's like, what are you? And then this thing just kind of hits him as this wild gyrations of this crossbow are just refusing all of your efforts here. So it's like on a spindle, like a fulcrum in the middle, and it's just rotating around, but it's in like these weird gyrating motions that are just kind of unexpected, and it's just firing off these random crossbow bolts. Sure, go for it. Is that a to hit? It's to hit, is it? Okay. That wasn't supposed to have the +3, I don't think. So I would say it fails. Go ahead and roll that damage. Damage. Okay. So you guys have done a total of 15 points of damage to this thing so far. You see, it's definitely you see the wood starts smoking as the acid lands on it. You see that the metal starts kind of bubbling up as the acid is kind of working on it, but still this machine is just madly rotating around. Is that going to be the end of your turn? Okay, good call. Lanariel, it is your turn. But okay, go ahead and roll an acrobatics check. Hot roller! Yeah! All right, so that is definitely going to be a success. So as Lanariel, you just kind of duck in as this thing kind of like ratchets towards you. You're able to kind of duck underneath it, and you just kind of gracefully reach out, and you hit the switch, and then suddenly, this thing stops, and we are out of combat. Oh, bloody hell! Thank you so much. You see, this thing just went crazy. I just turned it on. I just tried to, just trying to loop the gears over here, and it just started going all crazy on me. And I couldn't get off of it. It just would have just started shooting everybody's over here. You see him kind of jump off of the thing, and he's like, kind of steps over to the side, and looking at you. What are you doing here, anyways? Did you hear about the thing? Bandits? No, not the bandits. I'm talking about... Wait, what bandits? What? Oh no, Garen's gone? Oh dear. You see him kind of he kind of bows his head for a moment. And he says, well, obviously he must have got the message through then, yeah? Oh, well, your parents sent him, of course. Okay. Well, it was about Orin and Warren, of course. They're gone missing. Orin and Warren, they're gone missing. We think there's a monster. Well, yeah, we went looking a little bit around the place, but we can't seem to find it, and, well Korbaz he's kind of locked himself in his chambers. We haven't seen him in days. Okay, you want to go see Korbaz then? Okay. Okay. So Dell and Alabaster come kind of walking in to the room behind, and Dell just kind of says, "Oi, what is this back over here? I thought I saw something interesting." And you see Factory. This guy's, what do you mean? And Dell says, does it look like some kind of a barrel with legs on it or something? And Factory just kind of smiles and he says, "Oh yeah, that's one of the new toys. We call that the barrel crab. Want to see it?" "Oh, but it's so cool!" And he just kind of runs off, kind of squeezes past Dell, and goes running down this hallway here. Go ahead and roll your tinkering. but let's say with disadvantage because of the damage. I just have to do it in Foundry. A 10? Okay. I would say no, just because of the damage. It doesn't seem to. You think probably with some more time, if you were able to really kind of disassemble the machine as a whole and break it down into its component pieces, that you could probably figure out not only where the malfunction was, but probably an improvement on the design. So, go ahead and follow him down the pathway there. Because you guys do, as you come around this corner, you see these machines in front of you, and they look like basically a gigantic wine barrel turned on its side with these huge crab-like legs sticking out of it, and it's got these huge crab-like pincers coming out of the front of it, and you see these two stalks sticking up out of the top of this barrel that looks like it has lamps for eyes. And as Dell comes around the corner, he says, "Oh, that looks terrifying." And you immediately can see that this thing has been designed so that a gnome-sized person can indeed fit inside of the central chamber of this machine, and in fact ride around in it like a vehicle and maneuver. As you kind of start looking in the side of this thing, you see pedals and levers on the inside of this thing, and you instinctively know that you can not only control the movements of the legs with these pedals and levers, but also the claws that are on the front of this thing. And you're fairly confident that if you chose to, you could drive this thing around. It seems to be. Okay, so one of the cool things about the Foundry is that I can do this. So as long as you grab that crab token, it will stay connected to you. All right? If you try to just move your token, it'll tell you that there's an error. So you have to grab the crab token to move around. But you are now the proud owner of a gigantic crab machine, a crab vehicle apparatus. You can tell as you get inside this thing, you can tell that the seams on it are exceptionally well made, and it is completely waterproof, and you're confident that you could take this thing into a lake, into a river, anything of that nature, and be completely submerged and be fine in this vehicle. Okay, as you're pushing buttons, all of a sudden you see these lights click on the front of it and just illuminate the rest of this chamber. You see another one of these crab machines across the way in this chamber as these lights click on. The awesomeness of the Foundry, if you press that shift button and you rotate your mouse wheel, you are going to turn around and that light is going to move with you, sir. So, have fun with that. You should have complete control over this, is that correct? Let's fix that for Okay. Well, let's do this. And I will give Dread ownership. All right, give that a shot. Does that work? Okay. Perfect. You should be able to turn that thing, rotate it, move it, as you will now, sir. You are the proud owner of a crab tank. And the rest of you hear this maniacal laughter coming from inside this vehicle. There's another one over here. You see Factory, and he seems to be very proud of these creations. Says, yeah, we get to take him out on reconnaissance. He didn't, actually. It seemed like he was just so excited talking about these machines, he kind of missed the question. Well, your mom, of course, Verena did it. It was her. This was her design. And you do, as you start looking around this barrel crab, you definitely recognize your mother's handiwork. Yeah, just the way that she thinks, the way that she connects different materials and the lines that she uses. You can definitely see her handiwork all over this. Okay. So if you right click, on that crab token, if you pull up the gears on the vision tab, you should be able to see a little checkbox that says turn light off. If you want to turn off those headlamps, you can do that at any time. Yeah, like when you right click on a token and all of the little symbols pop up. There's an orange one. No, you don't. What happens if you right click on your own token? You don't have a gear symbol when you right click on your own token? Huh, there's no gear token, huh? Okay, I'll just do it for you then. So just let me know if you want to turn the lights on or off, and I'll do that for you. So, okay. Kellen, I see you eyeballing that crab over there. Okay. Let's do this. Oh, wait. They are just small enough to fit through the 5-foot corridors of Nomengard. I just need to add you as the owner on here, Quinn. Alright. You are now the proud owner of a barrel crab. You should be able to, again, click it and shift and mouse wheel to rotate it. Do you have control over it? Yes. Yay. Sweet. Weird. Okay, so we now have some gnomes in barrel crabs. So while you're in that thing, you are going to have full cover. These things have 30 hit points and an armor class of 15. Cool. I just had to do something cool for you guys. Sorry, a little detour. I wanted you guys to find the barrel crabs. I'm sorry. All right, so as you turn around, you do see this hallway that splits off to the right, where Lanariel is, and then also to the left, going back towards that crossbow. Okay. Oh. All right. Okay. So Dell's definitely going to make his way back into the crossbow chamber. So Factore just kind of stays behind as you guys move off. And then he just says you can find your parents in their workshop. Which you guys will know where that is. As you're leaving, you just kind of hear this, "Don't get eaten by the monster!" behind you. Compliments came out. Smacks a crab on the butt. Okay, you do notice that when you're pulling on these things, if you pull back on them, it raises them both up at the same time. If you push forward, it lowers them both down at the same time. So it is kind of limited in how the crab claws can move. And then there's triggers on them that will make the claws actually engage. Fully. No. No, they basically just move up, they move down, and then they'll pinch you. Okay. All right. You do see ahead of you as you kind of get around this corner here. This direction here is going to be one of the storage areas where they keep all of that fine gnomish wine. Did you guys want to look around at all, or are you on a mission? What's going on here? Okay. All right. So as you guys kind of make your way out of here, so you're going to move south from there. And then you'll know from that chamber on would be going to the west, where you would find your parents. As you enter into this room, however, let's see. You guys found the apparatus of Qualish. I'm so stoked. Okay, so as you guys kind of enter into the room, you see this female guard is standing here, and you recognize her as Ula. There's Ula and Pog, and you know that they're two of the guards that are here in Norman Guard. You also recognize that Oren and Warren, the two that Factori said had disappeared, were also guards of Norman Guard. And you see Ula calls out. She says, "Who goes there?" And in Gnomish, Pog repeats the question. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would have known them from your previous time here. No. Can you prove who you are? And you see her kind of holding a short spear in the direction of you. She's kind of looking at you. You see Pog kind of standing behind you. He's kind of like holding his thing here. He's like, I don't think they're a monster. Are you sure? It's look like a rug and stuff. I mean, it could be anything. There's something around here. Didn't you get the message? What do you mean? We sent Garen. Yes. Should be able to. Hey? Did it do? Okay.
What the fuck happened?
Excuse me for being rude. Ula, Hog, this is Lanariel and Alabaster and Mihr. They are our traveling companions, and we're here to see if we can get anything to help Mendolynn. And I guess deal with the monster problem. Is that what I'm hearing?
And find our parents.
Well, that's how we're gonna help Mendolynn. We're gonna go talk to Mima and Pop, and we're gonna get what we need.
Mima and Pop.
So, like, I know I said that we're, like, looking for stuff to help Mendolynn, and I know you guys have a monster, but I guess Mendolyn's, like, worried about a dragon? So, like, is your monster also a dragon, or, like, not as scary as a dragon? Like, more scary than a dragon? What are we up against here?
We don't really know what it is. We just know a couple of our folk have disappeared, and the king's gone mad. Says he was attacked by a rug.
What king has gone mad?
Corvus. We haven't seen Gigi.
So we haven't seen Nerkle?
We haven't seen Nerkle.
Nerkly?
Yes, that one.
Well, this is quite the conundrum.
Well,
Kellen, what do you think?
You've gotten here just in time.
We're gonna make all speed to find me, Mom, Pop. That's what I think. We don't got time to deal with the crazy king. Okay? We're already at the dealership in Fandelver. The guy who won't leave his house because of fucking dragons.
This is true. As I just said, that Lanariel and now Alabaster are with us, and if you want to let people know that we brought in visitors, that might be a good idea. But we're off!
And he
Okay.
scurries behind the crowd.
They do seem to be a little more determined to kind of hold their position. But they say your pants should be in this lavatory, eh?
Thank you very much.
How do I mount the crab?
And that is the name of the episode.
Oh, yes, please.
How do I mount the crab? Alright, you should be mounted, sir.
Carefully and politely, I would hope.
Yes.
Only with its full consent.
Okay. There we go. So as you kind of go through...
Sorry. I don't get crabs. Crabs get me.
That's Jellen for you. Alright, so as you kind of go through this doorway, you can definitely hear the sounds of this waterfall suddenly very loud. And as you, everybody else coming along. This one. Can you hear the waterfall?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I can.
It's very loud. It's actually thunderously loud, and you guys can barely hear each other over regular spoken voices. You do have to shout a little bit going over this bridge. Everybody going over the bridge, which I will have to back up Sir Dell here. Where is this bridge?
Can we take the crabs over the bridge?
That would be an interesting trick, wouldn't it? Why is it not telling me about the bridge right now? Weird. Okay, it's just going to be a DC 10, but there is going to be a dexterity check going across the bridge. If you fail the DC 10, then you just can't move any further. So go ahead and roll for anyone that wants to try and cross.
Can the crabs climb these steep cliffs?
Yes, and you could go down that way. You could go through the water, then back up the cliffs on the other side, if you would like to do that.
That is what John is going to do.
I follow Jellen.
Okay.
Looking for love, I got plenty. Natural 20.
Yeah.
All right, Del made it. No problem.
Oh, so okay, hold on.
Ooh.
All right, Lanariel, you step out on this bridge, and immediately it just starts shaking underneath your weight, and you're just not used to the wobbly nature of this kind of rope bridge that you're standing on, and you just kind of immediately freeze in place as this bridge is just shaking underneath you. Oh, you could go, love. It ain't gonna hurt you.
Can I, like drop down and try and grab the ropes from, like, with one rope with either arm on the sides and just try and, like, I don't know, I guess crawl my way across?
Yes, you can definitely do that.
Also, I believe there are a couple of walls or something preventing the mount tokens from making it across the river.
Okay.
That works. Just need another hand getting back up.
Is that up far enough?
Possibly not. Oh my god.
All right, hold on before you go any further. Oh man, Alabaster. Lanariel, you are able to make it across, about halfway across Alabaster, the dexterous one of the party. Also, Luz kind of, just gets wobbly for a second. You see him kind of crouch down, and he also he doesn't quite lay all the way down as you did, but he does crouch down, and he kind of uses the sides to get himself across the rest of the way. And as he gets there, he just kind of looks over. Well, I guess Kellen wouldn't be able to see him. He was just kind of looking around to see if anybody saw that kind of a thing. Nobody saw that, right? All right, cool, we're good. As you guys get to here, you suddenly realize that there is something going on here. Jellen, as you get into the end of this hallway, you see that there are these two spinning blades in this room. And you would know that this is something that has been put in place by the gnomes to act as a defensive measure. You can see that it is lightly obscured by mist from the waterfall, and that these two blades do seem to be kind of spinning in a haphazard manner, as if they're not exactly functioning as intended. One of them is kind of like spinning up and then slowing down, and then spinning up and slowing down, things of that nature.
If I'm already familiar with it, would I know of the method of turning them off, or?
You would know that there is a lever over here across the room.
Only on the other side.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Kellen.
Boomsparkle brothers trying to get through.
Kellen, as you kind of come up behind here, you would know, especially walking through this area with your father, that his favorite technique to get through here would be to just cast Mage Hand and to maneuver the lever with that.
Oh, hey, Jellen, use Mage Hand.
Ah, good idea.
We're gonna.
Jellen. Is there a cockpit on this crab? I forget.
It is, yeah. So you'd have to open the door, kind of lean out the side.
Jellen pops open the hood of the crab, tightens up his glove, and uses Mage Hand to. He casts it over the spinning blades to get over to where the lever is.
Okay. So you are able to cast your spell, and you get it over there, and you're easily able to grab a hold of this lever and pull it down, and you see that these blades slowly come to a stop.
Do they retract, or do they just move out of the way somehow?
No, they just stop spinning. So you'd be able to kind of just go through and just kind of duck and dodge and get your way through there.
Jellen reels back in his robotic Mage Hand, and it snaps back into his glove, and he tries to maneuver the crab past the claws, or past the blades.
Okay. You're able to do that. It kind of, scrapes up against the edges of the barrel crab as it goes through, but it does kind of push the blades as well. So, everybody go ahead and make your way through here.
I can hear the swirling of the blades. That's awesome.
Yeah, now that we're past the waterfall, we can hear the swirling of the blades, and that is a nice touch.
Thank you. All right. Well, Dell's not going to go first. You'd know brothers go first. So, as you come across, or come around this corner, and into this chamber that you know is the workshop of your parents. As you get further in, you immediately see your father, Namfoodle, is standing up on one of his favorite locations is up on the top of this shelf here, and you can see his big tome of magic is spread before him, and he seems to be kind of paging through this tome. And as you're entering, you hear your mother saying, "Well, that idea is ridiculous. There's no way that we could get away with that. What we need to do is build a sanity ray. And then we can just blast him back to normalcy, of course." And you hear your father saying, "Oh, that'll never be perfected in time. Why don't we just lock him up in a straitjacket, if nothing else?" And then suddenly you see Brenna kind of look over, and she sees the two of you, and she says, "Boys!"
Viva! Pop pop!
And that, my friends, is going to be where we end off for tonight. And next week, when we pick up on the Fireside Tales, we are going to have this conversation with Namfoodle and Brenna. What? They have different last names. They merged. They merged with you guys to create the Boomsparkle dynasty. So the Boomsparkle family has been brought back together, and I'm excited to go ahead and roleplay through this next week on the Fireside Tales. Hopefully we'll have that full team. We won't have the Blackout Monsters. I'm pretty sure he's going through the purge, and that's why we haven't heard from him yet, but he'll survive. He'll make it.
He'll be fine. He's one of the masked crazies, and he's got a
he is
pretty
the
decent
masked
count.
crazy. Thank you so much for anyone that was out there watching with us. Sorry for the technical issues that we were having tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to get all that kind of stuff ironed out, or I'm just going to throw my computer out the window at some point. So, what are solutions? They come and they go. Thank you so much. Hope you guys had fun tonight playing the game. Hope everybody out there had fun watching. I'm excited to get this team going and get everybody gelled and get the shenanigans afoot. I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Jellen.
So,
Sorry, go ahead.
We're going to be Jellen, obviously. So, thank you so much for joining us. Please go out and check out Limithron over on Patreon. He's got some awesome map assets that can definitely take your games to the next level. And he's got some great deals on that stuff, so please go check that stuff out over there. Other than that, please come and check us out in Discord. We got some cool stuff coming up with some West March campaigns. We also going to have some one-shot adventures, which anybody can jump in on. If you got a video camera and a microphone, just come in there and yell at us, and we'll try and get you set up in a game, get you a little live stream experience and action going on there. And we are also going to be... What else? We got something else coming up. Oh, yeah, a little battle arena thing that a certain gentleman over here and I have been talking about. So that might be interesting as well. Get a little 1v1 combat PvP action and see whose builds are the best. And I think that'll be interesting to kind of check that out as well. So please come out to the Discord. I will go ahead and throw that social link in there. All of those other links are going to pop up. We got YouTube, we got Twitch, we got the Patreons, the Discords, the YouTubes, all those things, the Twitters, the Facebooks. Go like all the things, press all the buttons, help us out. It really helps out with all of the numbers behind the scenes. So check it out. YouTube should be up tomorrow with this video. I'll be hard at work on that in the morning. We'll get this up, and yeah, please come and check us out again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Please don't sue me. And that'll be at 6 o'clock on Sunday. Thanks, guys. Come see us again next week. Peace out.
Stay safe.
Please. Okay, we made it. We did it. Holy moly. I feel like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong.